coming. My name is Samrat Das. I am currently the President of the Board of Trustees for Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of North Carolina. We are very pleased that you all could join. Very fortunate that Swami Atmajnanananda ji could come from Vedanta Center DC and do this special puja. Many of you have been devotees of our center for many, many years. We are very fortunate to have some of the founders here, Dr. Alok Uppal, Karuna Uppal, Joy Sharkar, Ushanti, all of them are here today. It's a great occasion, it's an occasion for joy. So in a couple of minutes, we'll have Swami Atmajnanananda ji make some important announcements and address all of us. But I just want to give a brief overview. All of the adults, can we please have your attention? Can you please take a seat? All of the children also, can we please take seats? So what is our center all about? We all know we have a small but beautiful, thriving center in Morrisville, and we have visiting monks twice a month. There are very few centers across the country, private centers, which have visiting monks visit 2 times a month, and that is very important because it is all about having these holy people come to our center and spread that. We see that living holiness, living goodness in them, and that impacts the entire community. So all of the monks and pravachikas and those who visited us in the past year, they're all listed there. I may have missed some. Apologies for that. We have some major occasions, big utsavs we call in Ramakrishna order. We have Kalpatru Day, and we do at the same time Holy Mother birthday. We have Sri Ramakrishna birth celebrations. We have Guru Purnima Puja, Mahashivratri, Janmashtami Puja. We have Durga Puja, which had more than 500 plus people last year in 2023, and Kali Puja had more than 700 plus people. Obviously, I mean, those are different kind of occasions, but that is a great way to invite the community and let them also take, not only the blessings of Mother Durga and Kali, but our holy trio. We are also involved in the message of Swami Vivekananda, the spread of the Vedanta knowledge in the West by going out to the universities. So we've had 3 talks last year at Duke University and NC State universities. Those are very high, very well received. And some of those talks have more than 100,000 views on YouTube. So we are spreading the message of Thakurma and Swamiji that way. We have Pupils of Practical Vedanta, which is a school for moral lessons and passing on the teachings of our Holy Trio to the next generation. Ashish Fadnavis ji and a great devoted group of teachers, Jayashri ji, Shivanand, Devi ji, Naren, Vinod ji, all of them are taking care of that. We have Karma Yoga days where devotees come together once a month and they do the upkeep of the center, but also enjoy the holy company of each other. Then we have Sunday satsangs twice a month where people can have spiritual discussions, helps develop that spiritual atmosphere in our center. We have a young devotee has started online gospel reading. We have devotional singing by Vedanta choir group. It's very important to have devotional singing in spirituality, and they create that atmosphere at our center. We have now Ramnam Sankirtans, that is also a Ramakrishna mission tradition, and our devotees have started that on special occasions. On Ekadashi days, we are having Ramnam Sankirtans, again increasing the spiritual atmosphere and vibrancy of our center. Aarti is every day at 7 p.m. And then we have done many charitable activities, including support to centers, Ramakrishna centers in Ernakulam, Varanasi, and then we did local support to the UMD, and then through Seva Diwali, we donated about 420 pounds of food. All of this, is not going to be possible without the numerous volunteers that we have created, all of you, and many of the community volunteers who just may not be coming to the center all the time, but whenever we need them, whenever they want, they said, yes, Thakur's work, we are delighted to serve anything related to Thakur, and they come here, do all of the setting, and they may not always stay here, but they're always here whenever we need that. So we have been able to develop a set of volunteers that way. With that, those are some of our activities, and we would now request Swami Atmajnanananda ji to say a few words. Swami ji. Naren brother, next slide.
My thanks to Samrat and everyone, all board members, all devotees for inviting me. It's really a tremendous privilege and a tremendous honor to do puja for Sri Ramakrishna's birthday celebration. And really, this is an occasion for us, an opportunity for us to try to understand what it means to worship Sri Ramakrishna. It's not any type of formal worship. It's not even singing bhajans and everything. It's really understanding the ideal that Sri Ramakrishna represents and the ideal that Holy Mother and Swamiji represent, and trying to live up to it. This is the most important thing, and these are the times of year on these special occasions when we have to think very deeply and to recommit ourselves to trying to follow that type of ideal, because they didn't come to be worshipped. That wasn't the reason for their coming. They came to set a standard for us. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that he made the mold, but we have to pour ourselves into that mold. The Holy Mother, if we want to worship Holy Mother, what does it mean? It means that we have to feel that everyone is our very own. We have to learn not to criticize or judge other people. We have to learn to love everyone. If we want to worship Swamiji, we have to look upon service to other beings as the highest form of worship. So this is a very nice occasion for us to try to rededicate ourselves and take this life very seriously. This is such a tremendous opportunity. Sometimes we forget that born so close to the lifetime of these great souls, all of the direct disciples. We always say Thakurma Swamiji, but Swami Brahmananda, all of the direct disciples and their disciples, and even those who become president of the order and heads of our centers. It's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for holy company. When we look at the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, and when he's asked that question, how do we realize God? Generally, the first answer he gives is holy company. And without a center like this, it's very difficult to have holy company. This is the main purpose of having a center, that it provides all of us with that opportunity to have holy company and to put the ideals of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother and Swamiji, to put these ideals into practice. So, as wonderful as it is to offer our love and devotion at the time of puja, it has to be a 24-hour-a-day type of worship where we really try to put that ideal into practice. And this is where the center plays such an important role, because to do these things on our own is very difficult. This holy company means everybody. It's not just sadhus, satsanga. It means a company of devotees, and it means working together, having a very nice, sweet, loving relationship among everyone, and supporting everyone. So this is why we're so happy to see this center growing nicely, but we know that there's a need for expansion. The present building that we have, of course, is too small, and one day it'll be very nice if possibly this can become a full-fledged center, that a monk from India can come and be here permanently. These things don't happen unless the center is built up first. Everybody knows and thinks that, oh, all we have to do is get a sadhu here, then the center will be built up. It doesn't work that way. It has to be built up first to a certain extent. And then headquarters will agree at a certain point that now the center is ready to have a sadhu from India come, or local sadhu, and have a permanent type of center. So Every year we've been talking about expansion, and we really would like to be very, very serious about being able to find something which will allow us to grow, because we're very much restricted and limited by the space that we have. We did a lot of research into building on the present property, and there are certain difficulties. The main difficulty is space, but it's a busy road. There's every chance that they'll make it change it from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. We'll lose some of the frontage area. There's a difficulty with regard to the public sewer line, and it turns out to be very, very expensive. And not if we expand the way we want to expand, we've used up all of our space for parking. And so really to be very realistic, that we really have to look for some other place. We shouldn't get too attached to that property, that present building. There's of course sentimental value. Many have taken initiation there, and but I'll tell you a story about Swami Atmajnanananda, that he was sent to our San Francisco center, and the work was going so well that they really needed to expand. Now the San Francisco center, the temple, was built by a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Atmajnanananda. It was the first Hindu temple in the United States. Such an important thing, and so much sentimental value to that Swami Atmajnanananda was a little hesitant to even raise that issue, should we move to another place and have a new building. But he wrote to Swami Shivananda Mahapurush Maharaj and explained the whole situation. And Mahapurush Maharaj said, yes, the work has to grow. Don't be overly sentimental. We'll keep the old temple. Now, of course, it's a place where people can visit, but in our case, the work is the most important thing. So we're really looking for a place that will be accessible to everyone, that will be large enough so that all of our needs can be met. So we have certain criteria that the neighborhood should be a good neighborhood. Now we know one of the difficulties is that the best neighborhoods and the closest ones are the most expensive. So there has to be a little bit of compromise perhaps to move a little bit of a distance away if we find something affordable, or if we can really raise money, of course, then we can find something, closer to this area. So we're thinking about something that is really ready. There's been a lot of talk about building on the property, our own property, or buying a lot and building on it. It turns out to be not cost efficient. That if we can find something that's already there that meets our needs, we can start right away to build something that from scratch that will serve all of our purpose. So that means not just a temple, it means a place, residential area, it means a dining hall and everything. At least $1.5 million, 2 million, something like that. And we can probably find something. We found one possibility, it was just over $1 million. And that means that we can sell our property, so that brings the price down to under. Anyhow, we have a whole committee looking into all of these things. So it should be reasonably priced, something affordable, central location for devotees, thinking within 10-mile radius of the airport. When there was a search for property, Swami Swahanandaji, he made a very big point that find something close to the airport. So it'll be very convenient for the visiting monks and others to come. Then the size, at least 2 acres, because just the parking lot itself takes up a lot of land, and we want to have some nice landscaping and everything else. The meeting hall should be minimum, I think, 100 people, with some room for some type of expansion, and at least 50 parking spots. We have 75, that's a little bit more than we can hope for, I think, at the very beginning. So you can see this update on the property search, that we've seen 5 properties, and one was really ideal. To me, it was too ideal. It was a little too big and a little too expensive, but anyhow, it met all of our needs. And the difficulty is, we all assume that if we find something that we like, we tell them, yes, we want to buy it, and they'll say very good. But they won't say very good. They'll say, show us the money. And we can't simply say, oh, we can raise the money, we can get a loan from here, get a loan from there. So we finally understood that we really have to have that money in pocket, or at least have a very firm commitment that money can be raised almost overnight. So this is, that was one of the reasons why we really couldn't continue, that somebody else gave a better bid. But if we had done it, they would have said, okay, let's see your bank account. This is how it works. And they're not going to simply take a promise from us. So, is there a...
Next slide.
Next slide, okay.
Naren? Next slide. Oh. Okay.
Okay. So, realistically, if we can have $1 million as the fund that we want. Now, some of it is already there, some of it is committed as a loan, other things, it's not as daunting as it may sound. We already have approval, $200,000 interest-free loan from the Ramakrishna ashram. This is Swami Sarvadevanandaji's organization there. And our Vedanta Center in Washington, D.C., we've agreed to give a bridge loan because it won't be possible to sell the present property immediately. So we'll cover whatever that is. We'll give a bridge loan for that, and that can be repaid after the present house is sold. And a separate bank account has been created just for this building fund. And initially, it's funded with 20,000.
Swamiji, if I may.
Okay, yeah.
With Swamiji's blessings, Thakur's blessings, I just want to announce that as of today, in that fund, $175,000 have been committed, just in one day. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. And one of our devotees has wanted to remain anonymous, but in the past 1 hour has committed $100,000.
So roughly how much do we need?
175,000 is already committed. We need another 325,000.
Only. Only $325,000. Yeah. As Swami Swananji used to tell the story about a preacher. They were trying to raise money for a new church. So the preacher looked at the congregation and he said, I have good news and I have bad news. And he said, the good news is that we have enough money to build the church. Everyone was so happy. Then they said, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is it's still in your pockets. Yeah. So we hope that everyone will understand that we're not asking for money for somebody else. This is for us. This is something that will serve us. I'll tell you another nice statement that I heard. Swami Atmajnanananda Maharaj, one of the great past presidents of our order, he addressed a group like this, and he said, remember that the center is not really for you. The center is not even for your children, it's for your grandchildren. So what he meant was, really think, building something permanent that will go generation after generation after generation, that we have to have that kind of thought in mind, that this will be the pioneer generation, a little bit of suffering and putting up with difficulties and raising the money and everything, but it'll really bear fruit in the future. So with the sale of the present property, I would say 350 minimum. Probably we don't know what the market is. If we do that, all of the money that we have, then it's not so much money that has to be raised. There's a target date for fund collection of September of this year. Because really we're very actively looking for something. And we don't want to be in the position where we find the perfect place and we can't show the funds. So if possible, even a pledge that as soon as you find something, we can overnight give the money, that we would like to raise that kind of money. And there are pledge forms that people can fill out. The pledge forms are?
The pledge forms are at the registration desk. Please also get your food coupons, and then the pledge forms are at the registration desk.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is also worship of Sri Ramakrishna. That making donation of our time and our effort and our money and our love and devotion to help build up the center. This is also a tremendous way to look upon the work of Sri Ramakrishna. So I encourage everyone to be as generous as possible and pray to Thakur Mahan Swamiji. We'll find a very nice place, and that it'll serve for many generations to come. So I offer my prayers to Thakur Mahan Swamiji, that they'll bless all of us and they'll give us strength and encouragement, and we can continue to do their work. Thank you. Jai.
So as Swamiji said, the numbers point, so we have 200,000 approved from Ramakrishna Ashram, which is interest-free, 400,000 from Vedanta Center DC as a bridge loan, so that's 600,000. And then, so if we're looking for a property of about $1.1 million, around that range, we need 500,000 more that we want to raise here. The main thing is, we wanted to show that our local community, we are ready for it. There is a movement here. We want a bigger house for Thakur Ma and Swamiji. Without that, we do not want to ask money from Ramakrishna Ashram or Vedanta Center DC. We want to show here our people are ready. We want a bigger home for Thakur. So that leaves 500,000, and we, like I said earlier, we are pleased that 175,000 was just committed today. So if you can take the pledge forms at the back and pledge whatever you can, and or if you want to think about it and later return that to us, that would be fine. We have decided that we would be keeping the pledges anonymous, and the only other thing, Swamiji, if I may say, what we have also said, there were discussions about what if we do not find a property. Again, anything done in the name of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa never fails. That is our firm belief and faith. However, in case we were not able to find a space, Thakur has some other plans, what happens to the money committed? We have decided in 3 years time frame, by 2027, if we are not able to expand or acquire another property, if the donation, the person who has donated, if they want their money back, we are happy to return the money. We would have to obviously do a tax consultancy about that, how to let IRS know. But there is a provision that if the money is not used for the purpose intended, then there is we can return if you all want. If you want to use that money for our general maintenance purposes, in case we are not able to expand. And again, I have no doubt in my heart that anything done in the name of Thakur will never fail. So, but that provision is there. So, just wanted to make sure that you all know. We will, after this, we chose this date, Thakur's Tithi Puja. There could not be a better date to formally announce this fundraising plan. We will now send out emails, and we will also send out Google Forms. We believe the people who are here are core devotees. If you can advocate on behalf of what Swamiji just said and what we are trying to do to the general community, that would be helpful. Just now, we had the Hindu HSNC people and BAPS people do some activity here, visa work. And the president of the HSNC said, he looked at the pictures of our holy trio and said, my first introduction to spiritualism is Jivan Seva Patra, the magazine that used to be there. Yes. So that was his first introduction to, that is the HSNC president. Then the BAPS, one of the main guys, Trustee guy, he said his first introduction to spiritualism was Ramakrishna Mission Rajkot. So these are people in the community who know how, and they value Ramakrishna order, and I think the support will come out if we, the core devotees, have that faith and advocate on behalf of it. So we are looking for another $225,000. We have 175 out of the 500 committed. We are looking for another 325,000 in the next 6 months. This is the example of the form. So it's in the back, and we'll send out a Google form also. At this time, I would also invite all of the trustee members to come on the dais. Swamiji, if you can come one more time here. Oshanti, if you can come here on the stage. Brother Shivanand, Sister Devi, Brother Naren, Kaveri ji. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Amita, sorry. Yeah. So these are our wonderful board members, and at this time I would like to. Naren, I called. Naren is coming. Yeah. So now I would like to invite our esteemed treasurer, Amit Sanyalda, a man of tremendous integrity. We are very fortunate to have him. First, he used to be our president for a long time, and now he has taken on the work of record keeping, which is very, very tough job, and always gives us great advice. So, Amit, if you want to introduce the financial summary of 2020.
Yeah, you want to sit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see? Yeah. So, with Thakur's grace and Swamiji's blessings, I'd like to just give you a flavor of what the finances were for 2023. In fact, I should have worn green today and not Samrat, but I being the treasurer. So I just wanted to give a highlight of the pages changed? Okay. So for 2023, the income that came into the books was 58,760, and the breakdown is as follows. Your donations was about 15,879 for different events, and then we also broke it down in the bigger events that we have. For Durga Puja, we almost got $10,000 from all the devotees and all the donors. We had a nice fundraising musical evening. Little kid Shreya, she sang for 2.5 hours and regaled the audience, and we were able to successfully get $7,800. We had a Guru Purnima Puja, and the Kali Puja, which we call it our signature event during the Vaishno Bhog is calling. Do we need money for them? So for Kali Puja, which we call it the signature event, we have more than about 650 people, devotees come, and we raised about 13,000 this year. Kalpataru Puja is a smaller event, but at the same time it's a very important event for us. And then Ramakrishna's birthday last year was 6,500. And we also had the good grace of having Pravachika Divyananda Prana, who we had a retreat at 2 different places, at NC State and Duke University, and we got donations of 3,100. So as you know, PayPal takes 3% of your donations, so it's preferred that if you write a check to us. But anyway, PayPal took our money, some of it, and out of that we got some about 58,000, and we were very lucky that we had some book sales of 577. Usha ji leads that, so that was the total inflow for the year. And now other side of the coin. So we had some capital expenses. We bought this, the backdrop. We had some different backdrop for Kali Puja. All that, we call it capital expenses. For Durga Puja, we spent about $51.99 for the hall, for the food. Guru Purnima Puja, Kali Puja again, it's a bigger event, so we spent $7,200. So remember that we paid, we got 13,000 and we spent about 7,300. So about 6,000-ish for Kali Puja, 5,000-ish for Durga Puja. Those were the, outflow minus, inflow minus outflow. And for the retreat, we made about 915. Ramakrishna's birthday, we spent about 2,900. And the Swamiji visits, which we are lucky to have, and that sustains our center with, we call it the oxygen. And we have to spend some money for that, about 5,500. So overall, total program expenses about 25,000. We do charitable activities, and we gave money to a couple of places this last year, 2,200. Facilities maintenance, which is always an expense, and utilities was 28. So we spent about 38,900, and so difference was about 19,900 is what we made last year, 2023. So just to give you everything in a nutshell, we started the beginning balance for the year with 103,000, which included some from PayPal and some from our checking account. And we created 2 CDs because the federal government, Fed raised the interest rates, and it was nice to be a saver again. So we got 2 CDs, one for 50,000, another for 25,000. And we got some interest from there, about 1,200. So at the end of the year 2023, our ending bank balance was about 124,000, which included the 2 CDs. So net gain and loss for the 2023 was 21,000, which included the 19,900 plus the interest. So that was a good year. And I wanted to just give you a highlight how the last year was. And thank you for all your donations, all your care that you have shown for the center. So 2022, if you just, I won't bore you with the details, but the end of it, if you look at it, 2022 we had an inflow of about 48,000, and we had a lesser outflow of 29,000, which shows that we are growing. And but at the end of the day, the gain loss was very similar. In 2022, we made about 19,085 versus 19,800. So keep up the good work. I really thank you for caring for the center. And we look forward to enhancing it, growing it, and making it a place that you can call it home again, home away from home. Thank you.
So, one thing, Amita, as he pointed out, if you look at the 2022 and 2023 budget, we've had close to $20,000 positive cash flow 2 years in a row. And why is that significant? There have been, appropriate questions about, increase of maintenance costs when we have a bigger center. But those numbers give us confidence, because with our current center, and we're not talking about, getting our monks, those are going to be the same expenses, but general maintenance, it's about $10,000 per year. Is that right, Amita?
Roughly about, about 10, 12,
yeah. So if we have 10, 12,000, and with the positive flow, even if we triple our maintenance expenses with a bigger sentence, that financial summary suggests that we'll be able to pay for those maintenance. Obviously, with a larger center, we'll have more devotees coming in and a bigger name in the community, and there will be more flow. But those cash flows for the past 2 years consecutively give us that confidence. Thank you again.
I want to say one small thing. I didn't put the 2021, I should have put it. So for 2021, we had a similar number, but you know what? We donated $36,000 for COVID related relief to India and different centers. So that was a big year. You opened your wallets, you opened your hearts, and we were able to give $36,000 to different places in the US and to the American. Thank you.
Just a special vote of thanks to our past president of Hawaii, who worked very hard for the center, and all of those who have been board members, presidents, other things, made a great contribution. Everybody worked very hard and very seriously, and we really appreciate all of our board members, our new board members and our old board members as well. So a vote of thanks.
So now we have a nice program by the kids, followed by some good prasad, so I don't want to be in between those two.
Yeah, so now we'll have the another big highlight of Ramakrishna Puja, which is the skits by the Children's Pupils of Practical Vedanta, and I would like to now invite Ashish Ji, who is the headmaster of our school, to say a few words.
Jai Swamiji, alright, I'll make it quick. So again, one of the key initiative of Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of NC is to disseminate the teachings of Vedanta, again, Swamiji said, the values, the messages of Maha Thakur and Swamiji to our next generation. A lot of us have been very lucky to have been grown up in an environment, where back home in India, in Bharat, where we kind of, it was a part of our life. But for our kids here, they don't have that. So what our Sunday school aims to do is to give that environment, right? And so they celebrate, they learn about Krishna, Mahabharata, the Ramayana, about Swamiji's life's message, all of that. They learn songs, they play, and they have a great time, right? I think it's really, when my daughter gets up on Sunday and is like, hey, do we have Sunday school today? I'm like, no, not today. Like, oh, I wanted to go. So that's what is great, right? And I think it's, for us, it's not just our duty or responsibility. I think we really owe it, as Swamiji said, to the next generations and the generations to come, to actually have a place where they have this program. And just to touch on the temple itself, right? We are very fortunate to have Swamiji's and nuns visit. But then the Sunday school doesn't happen on those days because, hey, we have Swamiji here, how can we have a class? Or the kids are playing outside, there's all gravel, and they fall and they scrape their knees and they bleed, and like, we really need that bigger place, right? So again, thank you very much for all your support to the center, to the kids of program. And yeah, we'll have some skits, and the skits are based on the gospel of Sri Rama, a lot of parables of Sri Ramakrishna, so hopefully you all can enjoy it. All right. Yeah.